What is up, all you GBA type fans? This is Tom. I'm here bringing you guys Week 8, a battle against Kooper. Now, if you missed anything about my team breakdown, please go check out the team builder from yesterday. I don't do those for every week, but when I do, I tend to go in depth somewhat. And then, of course, you can check the Yazo in that the description of that video, and that'll show you the specifics about the team. Now, looking at Kooper's team, I predicted Clefable, Greninja, Clefable, Greninja, Empoleon, Magnezone, and Sableye with the potential of Gliscor, Staraptor, or Aggron being his last one. I got 5 of the 6 right, and then he ended up bringing Weezing. Now, Weezing wasn't a super threat, but I see why he brought it for something like Sawk, or even Mega Aerodactyl, just kind of to eat up some of those hits. But with Mold Breaker on Sawk, I can go for a Mold Breaker Earthquake, do big damage to the Weezing, assuming I get, some sort of boost into it. The Clefable, so likely for him to bring, same with the Sableye, does a really good job kind of walling some of my offensive threats. Greninja and Magnezone just really good offensively against my team. And Empoleon, decent coverage against a lot of things that I would bring in. I can go for, grass moves or steel moves against Sylveon, or just water spam is water spam. So, with that being said, I'd like the matchup that I'm looking at. I don't see Aggron, and if you saw my video yesterday, you'll understand how Aggron, terrifies me. Which I'm so proud of that edit, by the way. I thought that was super funny that I did that the way that I did. If you don't know, I'm talking about 628 to 643 in my video yesterday. Go watch it. Self-plug. Anyway, we're going to get into the battle here. This is a really good battle. I hope you guys enjoy it. But, yeah, in the meantime, let's get started. Now, my idea here is that I'm going to lead with Sylveon. It's Choice Scarfed. If he brings in, depending on his lead, I could baton pass. Yes, I'll show that I'm Choice Scarfed, but it'll also, allow me to get some good initiative. Now here, when we first started, I was thinking, okay, go for Hyper Voice, make the turn 1 HP ground prediction, but I was like, nah, Kooper's not going to stay in. Greninja can't turn to a poison type, so he's not going to go for Gunk Shot. He's going to stay as a dark type. It's not going to be Stab, and it probably won't kill from full. Goes for U-turn. I'm going to go for Baton Pass and get some good initiative here. And very early on, I'm going to try for the Gligar Sweep. And I say that because, I can go into Melodic and just passively waste away, get damage off of it that I otherwise need to take on Greninja. I could go into, this is my best option, essentially. Starmie's not going to hit this thing too hard, especially because it is probably for death. He's going to go for Scald, and I just don't need him to burn on the first 2. That's all. He could burn on the third, just don't burn me on either of the first 2. But I get the Sword Sense up, and I get the Agility up, and I'm sure Kooper's like, what's happening right now? Because I was actually kind of surprised that I was able to take these 2, and we didn't see Ice Beam, so that was also really nice. But on the third one here, the second Scald, he's going to get the burn. Sorry for the lag a little bit. The guy that recorded this said his laptop was kind of crapping the bed when he was recording this, so there's going to be a little bit of lag, a little bit of frame cuts, but I'll do my best to explain my way through it. Got the Sword Sense up, got the Agility up, got the Baton Pass out, now we're into Sawk. Now, even if he burns me here, which I thought he was going to go for a Scald, if he got the burn here, I did have the Lumberry, which would allow me to go ahead and still not be statused, not be burned. So right here, he makes a really good play. Like, he goes into Weezing, I'm going to go for close combat, but instead I go for Earthquake because it was going to hit the Empoleon super effectively, and it's also going to hit the Weezing super effectively. So Weezing goes down. Okay, cool, it was negligible. Now here, he goes for Willow, and he hits. If he missed the Willow, or I'm sorry, it's the next one. He goes for Willow, he's going to burn the Lum, right? And here I'm going to go for Earthquake. It's my hardest hitting move for this Sableye. It's going to do over half. Going to do a real good chunk of damage. And sorry for the lag. But it does a good chunk of damage. Now he has to go here for a second Willow. Now the thing is with this Will-O-Wisp, and Kooper said it himself, and he'll probably say it in his video, he misses, he gets 6-0'd. Because I currently outpace the Greninja, I outpace the Magnezone, I outpace the Empoleon, and the Clefable. I outpace the Clefable. The only way that I think I could kill the Clefable, but it's a roll with the Poison Jab. So right here, he hits the Willow. He doesn't get 6-0. He doesn't get 6-0'd. If he misses the Willow, pretty sure I'm on my way to a good 5-0, 6-0 victory. So we'll see right now if he hits it, and unfortunately he does. So I was okay with letting Sawk take this burn. I think Sawk it would be very hard pressed for me to, actually it'd be probably impossible for me to get the sweep off again with the Gligar because it is so low. But I took out the Weezing. It got some really good damage off from the Sableye. I know he's going for recover here. Obviously I can't take it out with Unburned. Even +2 doesn't matter. The Sock did a good job. Potentially I can get a hit off later or get some good scouting purposes off with the Sock. Gonna go for recover here, and he's going to make a play that I thought was a little bit strange. And I'll say it's strange in a second once we find out what he does. So Starmie here, I think he just kind of thought was a Life Orb Starmie. He goes for Calm Mind, and now that's a Prankster Calm Mind. Analytic kicks in, so now I'm essentially a +2, so Nasty Plotted Starmie going for Scald. The Specs was a roll. That's not a roll, that was a kill. The Scald knocks him out. Even if he went into Empoleon, I still would probably get a good chunk of damage off with the Analytic boost. Probably a good solid 30-35% with the Specs. So that's just the power of the Specs showing right there, and I'm really happy that I used that set. He goes into Greninja. I'm not taking a U-turn. I'm not taking a Grass Knot. I'm going to let Gligar take that hit. It's not going to die, but it's going to die to the burn, giving Empoleon its kill. Gligar's going to go down. No big deal. Glad to get a free switch after the burn damage. It's going to go into Magnezone. This right here allows me to go to Melodic. If he goes for Thunderbolt, it's not going to kill me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to kill it with the Mirror Coat. That's the intention here. Oh no, I'm sorry. I go into Sock. Next time I go Melodic. Okay, the purpose here, I'm sorry for the mess up. The purpose here for me going into Sock is I have enough speed to outpace any base 60 on his team. Magnezone, or base 65, whatever the fuck it is. Magnezone, right here, this allows me to figure out, is he Scarfed? Is he Specs? That's the purpose of me doing this, because otherwise, like, what is Sock going to hit that hard? I'm going to just allow Clefable to set up if I bring Sock in against Clefable. Polygon, I could get some damage off. Not really. Especially if he has Aqua Jet, it's going to do a good chunk of damage, and I'm burned, so coming in, burn, Aqua Jet, probably not too good for me. Magnezone, so I think my best opportunity here was to find out, hey, he's down 4 Pokemon anyway, is this Magnezone Specs, or is it Scarfed? So right here we're going to find out, he is in fact Scarfed. I'm okay with that. Let Sock go down. So I now just, you know, the idea with Sock was there. It was really cool, and I got a kill out of it. You know, it's, whatever that's worth. And I was actually kind of surprised how the Gligar, you know, was able to facilitate the pass into Sock the way that it did. It's going to go here into Empoleon. I'm going to go into Starmie. I believe here it just goes for Grass Knot. I'm going to go for a Specs Thunderbolt. This is going to do about 35 to 40%. It does a lot more. The full SPDEF, you know, calc said 35 to 40%, and I kind of just said, you know what, just going to go for it. That did a lot more damage. Obviously, I want to take a second one, but he will go on to Magnezone and allow that to take a little bit more damage. Obviously, we have no entry hazards this game, so just damage is damage, and that was a good chunk of damage with the Specs Starmie. It was resisted, and it still did a solid 35-40%. Gonna go here into Sylveon. He has to go for Volt Switch. If he goes for the Flash Cannon, great prediction on his end. Kind of dumb if you know, I went into like Melodic or something. But knowing that he's Scarfed does allow me to play a 50-50 game. It ensures that I can go into either Melodic if he's going to go for Flash Cannon and he brings it on Sylveon, or I can go into Sylveon if he brings it in against Melodic. I think he's going to go for Volt Switch or T-Bolt. It's good for me because I think that the Melodic serves a better purpose on my team as compared to Jellicent, whereas Jellicent isn't quite as bulky and its second typing does kind of hurt it in some cases. He's going to go for a U-turn. I kind of suspected maybe he'd go for Gunk Shot. I can take one of those, but I wanted to see how much it would do based on his investment. Because mine was always like 12 attack investment, not, you know, over 100 however many EVs he did end up putting into it. Right here goes for Volt Switch, and like I said before, what's taking it? Because he said that he didn't expect Mirror Coat, and why would he? He thinks I'm going to go for Skull or something. Nope, going to go for Mirror Coat. That's a dead Empoleon. I think it was really smart that I have the Mirror Coat. I know that it requires me to take fair chunks of damage, and at this range I'm at right now, if he goes into Magnezone, I can't take that hit. Especially if he goes for T-Bolt, because T-Bolt, I'm at 94%, which is at 99%, or is at 49%. His roll is like 48.1% is his low roll, and his max roll is like 56%. So more likely than not, I would die for being a Specs Magnezone. He's got to go for Calm Mind, and This part is going to be a really, really slow part, and I'm going to just warn you now. This is going to be a haze. He's going to go for Cosmic Power, and we're going to find out a little more about his set as he goes on. But he's Cosmic Power. My melodic, like I said, is Haze, Scald, Mirror Coat, Recover. This melodic pretty much shuts down the entirety of this Clefable set. He can't set up. His attacks aren't going to do that much, and eventually a Scald is going to burn. We're going to find out: is he unaware? Is he Magic Guard? If he's not unaware, a +1 head smash from a Tyrantrum pretty much kills it. If he's Magic Guard, yeah, which same point. If he's unaware, then the burn is going to slowly, chip him away. Gonna keep going for Haze. Don't really want him to get to like +2 Cosmic Power. Like, my idea here was that if he gets to +2 Cosmic Power, it does 20% with a stored power. That's it. Sorry, +4, because +2. We showed the Citrus Berry, which I thought was really weird. Like, why no leftovers? Yeah, that was kind of bizarre. Or maybe it's a throwback to Kooper's thing where he doesn't want to run multiple leftovers on his team, which I think that's what it was now that I'm thinking about it. Because I remember Kooper talking about that a lot in his previous seasons of the GBA when he participated, especially in Season 3. Now, I'm going for Scald, but doesn't Scald have a side effect? Like, doesn't it do something else besides just, like, do water damage? Like, isn't it supposed to... There's a status that's, implied with Scald, but I don't seem to be getting it. He goes for Charge Beam here, and it's going to do damage, but, again, it's a Clefable, non-boosted. That was a crit, which is hilarious. And my thing is here is that was a crit. I don't want him to get another special attack boost on top of maybe another crit, so I'm just going to keep going for Haze. He can go for Charge Beam. Eventually he's going to miss. Eventually I'm going to get enough leftovers back. Or eventually he's not going to get a boost, and I'm going to be able to recover off safely. All it is here is me ensuring that Melodic doesn't get, whittled down stupidly, or that he doesn't get out of hand, because he gets to, like, +2 Cosmic Power, he gets a +1 Charge Beam boost, and this thing can start tearing through my team. Because once Melodic goes down, there's so many things on my team that just are not going to enjoy taking any sort of hit from this Clefable. And I'm not letting Clefable get out of hand, because Pink and Fat is annoying, and I'm not going to let it be annoying. I think right here I stayed calm, I stayed level-headed, and I just thought out my moves. But the one thing I want to talk about in this exchange is the fact that when Kooper was playing it, at the end of the battle, we're talking, he's like, yeah, I would settle for a 4-3 timeout. And I was like, you dirty bastard, you. I know it's Kooper's, like, MO to just, do the whole stall bit, but right here, this is the trying times where you have to sit back, you have to go, okay, brain, don't get flustered, relax, and just think out my moves. That's what I had to do. Because Kooper here was totally settled on just going for Charge Beam and Cosmic Power. There he loses the Charge Beam, and I'm able to go for Scald, hoping at some sort of no, I don't. And at no point do I get it against him. I'm just going to spoil that now because I don't know what the fuck it is, but that kind of leads back into the whole idea about last week when I didn't go for Iron Head against Lars' Landorus. I can get a fucking Skull Burn on a 30% chance. How am I supposed to get one Iron Head flinch on one time using it when I need it? But here, I don't even need the Scald Burn, but I'm not getting it because for some reason, I guess just the Clefable can dodge full paralysis last week against Sam with Kooper, and this week it's just dodging burns. Okay, Game Freak, I see how it is. You just don't like me. It's alright. No big deal. Still gonna buy Sun and Moon. But this whole bit, I'm not gonna explain it turn by turn. It's tedious, to say the least. I'm back up at full. He's just gonna go for Charge Beam. That was another crit. Didn't get the boost. His Cosmic Power thing is kind of fallen by the wayside. I think at this point, he is going to try and switch. At one point during one of these turns, he does switch because at this point, I think we're down to like 19 minutes. Actually, it might have been under that. Oh, yeah. It's going to be after this because I remember I go for Mirror Coat, assuming he got like a boost. That Mirror Coat would put him down to the point where a Scald crit or Scald plus Burn would knock him out, assuming he didn't go for Soft Boiled. Right here, he has to go for Soft Boiled. If he does, there it is. He would have died to Melodic. But the problem is, like, this exchange here is just, it did soak up a lot of time, so this forced us essentially to play a little bit more accelerated. And right here I'm starting to lose how to keep talking about this part because you can see it's really fucking long. he was totally okay with just staying in and going for Cosmic Power and then going for Charge Beam and then me hazing it away. Without the haze, this would have been a much bigger problem, and I'm glad I did pack the haze. He was trying to stall me out of the hazes, but that's when I kind of had to adjust my mindset and say, hey, 2 boosts, use the haze. I did outspeed him. Now he switches. Holly fucking Lulia. Go for Scald. Do I get a burn? No! Because why would I? But it does do a solid amount of damage to this Magnezone. I'm at a range where if he goes for Volt Switch, something else is dying. Gonna go for Mirror Coat again, not going for Scald. So he's gonna pick something to die at the range the Fable's at, which he does end up bringing in. It's gonna die to a Mirror Coat. There's really nothing about that. If he stayed in and went for T-Bolt with the Magnezone, that would have died, but that also would have hampered his offense, which would have only allowed Greninja to stay in, and that would have been kind of bad news for his chances of winning, even though at this point I think it's in my favor to win. Assuming I don't allow Tyrantrum to die, I think I win if I get up 1 D-Dance. That's the game plan right here. I go into Sylveon here. He's going to go for Thunderbolt. It takes him a while to... He's going to go for Thunderbolt again, but it takes him a really long time to pick the second Thunderbolt. Maybe he's just running Calcs, or, as he was telling me, if I went for... I was going for HP Ground here in case he switched into Greninja. And if that was the case, and Sylveon then died, I would have went into Melodic and just recovered until he killed himself to Life Orb. Or just, eventually Scald, or would have went for Mirror Coat on a Grass Knot, which he ended up packing. But he's going to go for Thunderbolt. I'm going to bring in Tyrantrum, and like I said, get 1 D-Dance up and I win. And right here was GG. Tyrantrum is now faster than Magnezone, scarfed by like 2 points. And then it's now faster than a Life Orb Greninja. Going to go for Earthquake, going to knock it out. And at the range the Greninja's at, an Earthquake is a pretty much like a 70% chance to kill. And I'm pretty sure with the investment that I have in HP, Spadef, and Defense, I'm pretty sure he's not going to kill me with a, I believe he had Surf. Was his hardest hitting move that was Stab. He had Surf, Gunk Shot, Grass Knot, and U-Turn. But that's it. It's our second win and our best win of the season. We now see that, yeah, I'm, a loser, but I could win. And I'll take that. I think I prepped adequately. I think I took an idea that otherwise was a little outlandish maybe a few weeks ago, and it worked. The team also kind of melds a little bit better, like I said, the team breakdown. Melodic serves a better purpose than Jellicent. I wish Jellicent wasn't on the team, and I actually traded it away. But, you know what, you work with the hand that you're dealt. Tyrantrum is a better alternative than Noivern. Gligar is a better alternative than Luxray. And Sawk is way better than Machamp. As much as Machamp did help me on my win against Dan, Sawk has now attributed to another win that we have this season. Next week, we start going back into our repeats with our division opponents. I believe that with this team structure, I'm not going to be as passively worn down by my opponents. John, I think, has a little bit more to worry about in terms of Tyrantrum and Sawk against his team. I'm not just going to bring a no setup Mega Aerodactyl, so I don't think that the build tank's going to be as big of a problem. I'm not going to be relying on having to outpace a Melodic, and now instead I have to worry about taking on Manaphy and Mamoswine against George. And then with Mono, we're going to revamp the entire way I prep for that game. And then, of course, we have Nick in 2 weeks, so that should be a fun game. Nick has been doing really well, but hopefully I can kill him because he didn't trade me Drapion. So that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully leave your comments down in the comment section, talk to me, and yeah, if you have any questions, chit chat in the comments. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Next week we take on George, and hopefully we get a victory out of that. Otherwise, it's been another week. So I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.